Alright, hello everybody, Zaxter99 back with another First Play on Launch Day, a First Impressions review. This is a game that I don't usually review, the type of game that I don't usually review on my channel. This is nothing but a driving simulator or like a walking simulator. This seems full of like walking simulator. Here we have a driving simulator where you're just on an empty map and you're driving a pickup truck around. You can't change the cars, you can't change the color of your truck as far as I know. I've went through the options. You're just driving around a basic, simple map. In fact, I think I know what map this is. If we go to the Epic Marketplace here, guys, and we look at forest, I believe this very well might be the Stone Pine Forest map that he's actually implemented in his game. And I'm not so for sure, but I have seen, the only reason I think that is because I've seen some of these buildings off the road that look just like this. So that makes me think he's using this map that was given away free on the Epic Marketplace a year or two ago. And then he's obviously using an asset truck. I certainly don't think he made this truck. But yeah, it's a relaxing driving experience. There's no objectives, no pressure, no timer, no tunes, no other cars, nothing. You're just driving around a map and randomly the weather changes. So I've given this developer a positive review here, guys, for right now. And I've also given him a test. This test is really simple request for me. I want to see if this developer can pony up and make these really simple changes to his game. If he does, I'll keep the game and I'll leave this as a positive review. If he doesn't, I think this game is way overpriced at the $8 asking price right now. I mean, right now you can get SnowRunner for $14.99 on sale, and SnowRunner is 100 times deeper than what we have here. So if he can't make these two simple changes, I'm going to not only change this to a negative review because I don't think this is worth the money, and because he won't pony up and make simple requests, but also I'm going to give you a negative review because I think it's way more expensive. It doesn't offer a good value for $8. There's just no game depth here or whatever. But let me go ahead and show you what we have here, guys. So this is what you have. You can play with a controller. We have options here. We have the ability to go full screen, windowed, and windowed full screen. Only 3 different resolutions, so 4K gamers are going to be let down. 1920 by 1080 is the highest resolution. You can change the brightness, anti-aliasing. There is no motion blur, so I don't think there's any motion blur here. But you do have like the post-processing and stuff like that, like you typically have in Unreal games. And right here it does say in post-processing up at the top right, it says post-processing includes in motion blur. But you can turn motion blur off despite the post-processing. Hopefully the developer has done that. Audio, you have your audio settings here, and then you have controls. But sadly, the controls are missing a couple of things, and I've requested the developer to add a couple more controls to his game for me to leave it as a positive review and for me to keep the game. So I'm really curious to see if this developer can do that. So when you go in here, guys, and you hit start, the first thing you have to do is hope the game doesn't crash, because I've already launched this game like 4 times, and 2 of those 4 times the game just crashes while trying to load into the game. Like the game will just, without a word, without an error or anything like that, it would just simply crash. This is like the 5th time I've loaded into the game, and I am curious to see if it's going to crash again. But more curious, okay, it did load. So I'm going to go ahead and play with the controller here, guys, because it's a lot easier. And you see here that we start with this truck. So if anybody knows exactly what map this is on the marketplace or whatever, let me know. I think it's the Stony Forest or whatever that was free a couple years ago on the marketplace. And then we have this truck. I couldn't find this truck on the marketplace, but I'm sure it's an asset he got somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and drive here, guys. And again, there's no objective here in the game. There's no point. There's no other cars you got to watch out for. There's no timer. There's no things that we got to pick up. We're not looking to set a high score. I am just simply driving here and moving my right stick on the controller to cycle around. And wow, so we just have a invisible wall. We have an invisible wall. Okay, that's another request for you to the developer. I feel like if you hit this invisible wall, I don't want to see this, especially on the road. You need to, like, just teleport the player to the other side of the map or make this map wrap around or something like that. Yeah, that's another request. You're going to have to get rid of the invisible walls. at least on the road. Yeah, we should not be driving on a road and run into an invisible wall. That's extremely lazy. So that's another request. That's a third request you're going to have to change for me to keep this game and keep it as a positive review. So I don't know what you want to do there. If you just want to like make the map wrap around, like have you not see an invisible wall? I don't want you to see any invisible walls, at least on the highway, on the road, right? On the paved road. Obviously, if you get off the road and you're driving through the forest, yeah, I understand seeing invisible walls there. But I definitely do not want to see any invisible walls on the edge of your fucking asset map. You need to fix that and make it so it just, you know, loops you around, or make sure like one edge of the map loops you around to the other side of the map and you stay on the road or whatever. But we shouldn't be seeing any invisible walls on the edge of the map. That's a big no-no. Especially in a game like this where it says, you know, you even advertise on your store page, you can drive for hours. Yeah, I don't want to be driving and then come up to an invisible wall. That's extremely immersion breaking. You're talking about how this is like an immersive driving simulator or whatever. Well, that's definitely immersion breaking, crashing into an invisible wall. So you need to fix that if you, especially at the $8 price tag, man. $8, that's the least you can do. And then the other two requests that I want to see that I've made for this developer are basically I want to be able to press a button and set a cruise control. So basically if I press a button, I want the truck to lock the speed at whatever speed I'm going, whether it be 45 kilometers an hour, you know, 70 kilometers an hour or whatever. And then if I press the cruise control button again, it should drop the cruise control, just like a realistic cruise control in a car. You know, and then I press it again at a new speed or whatever, it locks the truck at that speed, whatever speed I'm going when I press the cruise control. I press it again, I turn cruise control off. Pretty simple. That's a pretty simple add. And then the other request I had for the developer was just a few different keys, so that if I press the 1 key, it changes to sunny weather. If I press the 2 key, it gradually changes to partly cloudy. And then if I press the 3 key, maybe it gradually changes to rain. I don't want it to happen instantly as soon as I press the key, because that would be non-realistic. So within like 15 seconds or so, have it, change the weather to partly cloudy, sunny, or rain, depending on what key I press. And then maybe have a night and day function as well. So if it's nighttime and I press like the 4 key, it goes to daytime gradually. And if it's daytime and I press the 5 key, maybe it gradually turns to night. So I think we should have control of that. I think we should have a cruise control. I think those are all super easy changes. All my key presses are anyway, for cruise control in the daytime, nighttime, and weather. Those should be super easy changes to make for this developer. I think his hardest change is going to be getting rid of the invisible walls. So I need to see all these changes made to this driving simulator. The game needs to wrap around from one edge of the map to the other so that we never see invisible walls. And I'm going to give him my 2-week refund period. 2 weeks from today, I'm going to go back and review this game, see if he's made the changes that I'm requesting. And if he hasn't, I'm going to change this to a negative review, because I don't think it's worth the money if he can't even make simple changes to his game. And he's still charging $8. So I challenge him to make these changes. And if he makes the changes that I request and he performs it well, then I'm probably going to keep the game. Also, the developer needs to make sure his game doesn't crash half the time when you load into the game. So if he makes these changes, makes the game not crash, makes the cruise control, the ability to change the weather and the daytime with key presses, and he gets rid of his invisible walls, I'll leave this game as a recommend. Otherwise, I'll be changing it to a not recommend. This is a test for, obviously, a very asset-reliant developer on Steam with his first game. So let's see if this guy can pony up. Let me know down in the comments below, guys, if you guys think this developer will pony up and make the changes I've requested, or do you think he's just not going to give a damn and not make the changes because he doesn't have the skill or whatever, and leave it as it is, and let me change my review to a negative review. I'll have a link down to this guy's Steam page down below. Let me know what you guys think, though. Will this guy meet my demands? It'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know as well if you think he'll meet my demands and my requests. We'll see you in the next video, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Zaxter tonight. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.